Morning students. Now today we are going to start a very interesting and the very last article from this chapter, that is infinite limit or and limit at infinity. Limit at infinity and infinite limit. Okay, now here to study this limit, first we will see what is meant by the function tends to infinity. So we will see, but I want to recall one thing, that in yesterday's lecture we have learned about the limit of exponential and logarithmic function. And what are their results? The results are limit extends to 0, and remember students very clearly the limit should be 0 only. Then and then these results are applicable, otherwise we cannot apply these results. So remember it is very essential that limit should be extends to 0. Here a is greater than 0 and a is not equal to 1 also, because log 1 becomes 0 here. So a is greater than 0 and a is not equal to 1 because log 1 is 0. And if it is other than a, that is if there is a standard value, say limit extends to 0, here rather than a we have e minus 1 by x. Limit is again extends to 0 here, then our answer is from the above result log of e. But if you remember that I have explained you, there is not base of the log is not mentioned, means it is e. Okay, we assume it or we considered it. So but we do not mention it because it is already considered. So log of e to the base e is equal to 1, isn't it? So the result of this limit is directly we can write 1. Okay, and the next result is that limit extends to 0, 1 plus x raised to 1 by x is equal to e. Remember this one. And limit same extends to 0, log of 1 plus x by x is equal to e. But log e is equal to 1, hence its answer is 1. Okay. So these are the some results we have seen yesterday's lecture. So if this x may have any multiple also, and if this x have multiple, then answer also have a multiple. We have to adjust that multiple, that is here if we have px, then in the denominator also we have p of x, that is we have to adjust this, but our answer remains, that is log of a, where p is a constant. Okay, so remember this one and try to solve more examples from the same category, and you will get the idea about this one. These are very simple and very easy examples. Now, so today's our new article or new concept is that limit at infinity. Okay. Now, up till now, we have evaluated the limit of the function at extends to 0 or extends to 3 or extends to 2 or extends to pi by 4 and so on. But what is meant by limit as extends to infinity? So let us see what happened. Now, up till now you have heard that when infinity occurs, then we write it does not define, and we either we change that form or we leave it. Okay, or we want to avoid the form wherever infinity occurs. But here we are saying that we have to take the limit or evaluate the limit as x tends to infinity. Then how it is possible? That is how to evaluate the limit in this case if x tends to infinity. So let us see. We will consider one example where table the values of x and e of x. So if the function is defined as fx is equal to 1 by x, isn't it? So if x takes values from 0, 1, we have to avoid this value 0 because 1 by 0 will not define. So from 1 or from 0, that is 0.1, 0.2, so on, 1, 3, just like that one. Or if we take the value that is 1, just round figures 10, 100 and so on. Then what about the fx? Fx becomes what? 1 by 1, 1. F of 10, 1 by 10, 0.1. F of 100, 1 by 100, 0.01. Okay. F of 1000, that is 1 by 1000. You can see there fx is what? 1 by x. Okay. And these are the values of x, that is x is equal to 1, x is equal to 10, x is equal to 100, x is equal to 1000. So 1 by 1000 is equal to 0.001. So as x tends to infinity, here let us see, as x tends to infinity, then fx tends to 0. That is, you can see here, if we make a, let us see one graph there first, okay, then we will see the table. Sorry. Origin, x-axis, y-axis, negative x-axis and negative y-axis. Okay, and here the points are this, we are saying there 1, 10, 100, 1000 and so on. Okay, and here the values of y are, our first value is 0.1, 0.1, 0.01, okay, decreasing values are these one, that's why, like that one, and here. So if we plot these points and if we draw the graph of fx, then as x increases, you can see there, here, as x increases here, this is 100, huh? As x increases, then what about this f? It start to decrease. And we denote fx by what? Y. That is, here y tends to decrease. That is, from 0.1, it tends to what? 0. Like this one. So, as x tends to infinity, y tends to 0. And this is the required curve or graph of the function. Isn't it? So, here y tends to 0. So, as x tends to infinity, fx tends to 0. Are you getting this one? And if we make a table the values of x, here you can see, here f of x is 1 by x, let x is equal to, we cannot take 0, then fx has value 1, isn't it? So, our first value should be 1, then 0.1, from 1 it start to decrease, and our second value is what? 10, then it is 0.1, then third value 100, 0.01, then 1000, then 0.001, then 10,000, then 0.0001. So you can observe, as we take value of x larger and larger, the value of f(x) becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. So if we increase the value of x up to infinity, as like this one, then the value of f(x) will become so small and it tends to 0. That is, it approaches near and near to 0. Because our x is not become, that is infinity, it has some value. Therefore, f(x) also does not become 0, but it takes values nearer and nearer to 0. Let us see students, I want to explain you it again. इथे बघा, जर x ची व्हॅल्यू ही खूप मोठी 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 होत चाललेली आहे x ऍक्सिस बरोबर आणि पॉझिटिव्ह व्हॅल्यूज आहेत. ह्या कोणत्या व्हॅल्यूज आहेत? पॉझिटिव्ह व्हॅल्यूज आहेत. म्हणजे आपण काय लिहू शकतो इथे? x टेन्स टू प्लस इन्फिनिटी. ओके, तर ह्या ज्या व्हॅल्यूज आहेत मोठ्या होत चाललेल्या, तर ह्या व्हॅल्यूज जशा मोठ्या होत जातात तसं हे जे फंक्शन आपलं आहे इकडे आपण f(x) लिहिलेलं, ते 1/x असल्यामुळं त्याच्या व्हॅल्यूज होत जातात स्मॉल 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 स्मॉल. इथे बघू शकता तुम्ही असं, आणि ते इतक्या स्मॉल स्मॉल होत जातात की ते 0 कडे येत जातात. म्हणजे ते इतक्या नियर अँड नियर टू 0 येत राहतात. आणि एक वेळ अशी येते की आपल्याला असं वाटेल की ती व्हॅल्यू इतकी स्मॉल झालेली आहे की जस्ट लाईक 0. But still there is a difference between that 0 and the value of the function. But we say that it tends to 0. The value of f(x) tends to 0 as x tends to infinity. Isn't it? म्हणजे ती इतकी स्मॉल असते की आपण तिला म्हणतो की it tends to 0. आणि ह्या ग्राफ वरून पण तुम्हाला कळत असेल, हा x चा ग्राफ आहे. as x tends to infinity, इकडे बघा, तर इथे y ची व्हॅल्यू जी कमी कमी होत चाललेली असते, म्हणजेच ती कुठे चाललेली असते? इट रिचेस टू नियरर अँड नियरर टू 0. Isn't it? So we can say that as limit x tends to infinity, then the limiting value of the f(x) is what? 0. That is, limit x tends to infinity, and this is a particular type of function, that is 1/x. If limit x tends to infinity and function is of the form 1/x, then its limit is what? 0. Okay, we can say that it is one of the standard form. So this is the explanation that when we say that limit at infinity. Okay, now let us see the definition of this one. How to define this one? That is, as you remember that we have defined the definition of the limit of the function is that if there is a function, okay, then it has to be said that a limit L, for there exists epsilon greater than 0, then there exists another small positive number delta greater than 0, such that mod of f(x) minus L less than epsilon whenever mod of x minus a less than delta. Isn't it? But here we are going to make a small change when we define the limit of the function at infinity. And what will be that change? The 90% things are same. Okay, only one change occurs there is that if the function f is said to tend to limit L, okay, as x tends to here. If when we say that the function f(x) is tends to limit L as x tends to infinity, okay, if for given epsilon greater than 0, then there exists a small positive number m such that mod of fx minus L less than epsilon, okay, for all x in the domain of f, for which uh, for which x greater than m. So students, if mod of fx minus L less than epsilon for all x in the domain of f, okay, in the domain of f means where the values of x lies, or the set to which the values of x belongs is called as domain of f(x). Then there exists a small positive value which is, we denote it by m, then it is such that x is greater than m, okay. Then we define the limit as limit x tends to infinity fx is equal to L, okay. So this is the definition. But if we consider the negative values of x, now as you remember that I have told you here, x takes positive value, that is x tends to plus infinity, isn't it? But x may take negative values also. So what we have to do if x takes negative values? Then in that case, here first we will see what the x takes negative values means, what actually what happened there. So let us see. Here the negative value of the x, very first value of the x, that is negative value, say let us see 1. Then at the same time fx takes value what? Minus 1, because for it is 1 also, that is 1 by 1. Our the functions is same, that is which function is our, that is fx is equal to 1 by x, okay. Here fx is equal to 1 by x, isn't it? So if x is equal to 10, minus 10, no, negative values, so it is minus 0.01. Again minus 100, so minus 0.01. Minus 1000, then negative 0.001. And just like this one, that is as x tends to minus infinity, okay. Then also here fx tends to 0, that is as x tends to values minus infinity, that is small and small and small values, okay, then the values of fx increases, okay. In which sense? That is minus 1, that they are moving from minus 1 towards 0, okay. Though these values looking small, but they are larger than that one, that is the value of the number increases from left to right, that's why. So here it tends to increase in value, but it tends to what? It reaches near and near to 0. So as x tends to minus infinity, 1 by x assumes the values nearer and nearer to 0, and we write it as limit x tends to minus infinity 1 by x is equal to 0 again. Because how it happens, I want to explain. Let us see here. That is, we can write here minus infinity, 1 by minus infinity, and that is my 1 by infinity, and 1 by infinity it is considered as 0, and 0 does not have any sign, it is neutral value, therefore directly its answer is 0. So what happened there? That is here limit, we can make a partition here or separation, limit x tends to minus infinity, okay, and and here we have to make one correction, not infinity plus infinity like this one. Okay, we use this sign, that is this suffix. Okay, if we have a right hand limit or left hand limit, it is by mistake it happens, so forget it. Remember this one, if x takes plus value, then x tends to, we say that x tends to plus infinity, and if x takes negative value, then we write x tends to minus infinity of f of x is and if that f of x is 1 by x, then is equal to 0. If it is other than 1 by x here, that is if we have other function or other value, then we have to take it right here, its limit is L. So don't get confused. Okay, remember this one, that is limit x tends to minus infinity 1 by x is equal to 0. So in both the cases, as limit x tends to plus infinity or as limit x tends to minus infinity, fx takes values nearer and nearer to 0. Okay, and here therefore we can write limit x tends to minus infinity or limit x tends to plus infinity of 1 by x is equal to 0. So remember this one, this is very easy. And if we see the definition of the function as limit x tends to minus infinity, then again we get the same one. Here also x takes values greater than m, and we have to write here limit x tends to infinity fx is equal to L. But what happened there actually, if fx mod of fx minus L is less than epsilon, where epsilon is a small positive number which is greater than, positive means greater than 0, then at the same time there is an value m which is also a positive value such that x is greater than m. Then here mod of fx minus L is less than epsilon for x greater than m, then we define the limit of the function as limit x tends to minus infinity f of x is equal to L. Due to this negative sign, our answer does not get affected. Now we have to remember one thing, whenever our expression is of the form, which form? Infinity by infinity. As you have seen, if we have the form of the function as like this one, 0 by 0, then we have to use or apply the various methods to reduce the given function to a standard form, okay, by which we can evaluate its limit, isn't it? And various methods we have learned, that is method of substitution, factorization, rationalization, then limit x tends to 0, sin x by x is equal to 1, okay, that is power function. These are the methods. So now here, if we have the function of the form infinity by infinity, then we have to divide, okay, the function by the suitable power of x to get finite limits of the numerator as well as of the denominator. Okay, now I know that you are not getting this one. We will see how to solve with the help of an example. So let us consider one example directly, and later solving one example I will explain you infinite limit. Now just we have learned about limit at infinity. Later on it we will see what is mean by infinite limit. Okay, so further that before that, let us solve an example. Let us have example from exercise 7.7, evaluate the limits, isn't it? So let us consider one example, that is one limit x tends to infinity, okay, and remember students, very first you have to observe, you have to look at the limit, that is which type of limit is provided here. Either it is any real number, it may be positive, negative, integer, okay, or it is 0, okay, or it is infinity. And then you have to decide, that is which type of form you have to apply here. So now here we have limit extends to infinity. So example is from the criteria, that is limit at infinity plus bx square plus cx plus d upon ex cube plus fx square plus g of x plus h. Now don't be afraid, that is you may think that is how long polynomials are these are. Let us see, we will solve it in very simple manner. Let us consider that what is given, rewrite the example, try to write the given problems correctly and neatly. X square plus cube bx square, that is this is a cubic polynomial because our highest power is 3, that's why it is called as a cubic polynomial. Then here e x cube plus fx square plus gx, okay, and plus h. Now whenever you have such type of example, then whenever you face such type of example, then always remember that first find out the highest power of x, okay, and which is the highest power of x there, which is the highest power of x, the highest power of x is what? Cube, that is 3. Now after identifying this highest power of x, then we have to take it outside the bracket as a common term, and in other way we can say that divide the numerator and denominator by this x cube, okay, you can take in any way. So let us see what happened there if we take it outside as a common factor or if we divide it by both numerator and denominator. So let us see what happened there. Ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d upon x cube, okay. Now denominator, our first denominator, ex cube plus, if we solve any example students consciously and calmly with concentration, then there are very few chances that you will get wrong, okay. If you solve the examples calmly, quietly, then within few steps you will have your required answer. So don't make hurry. If we divide by x cube, now due to this plus sign we have to divide each term by x cube. So in first term x cube get cancelled and what remain there? Only a, okay, plus in second term one power is less, so b by x plus c into 1 by x square, that is take the subtraction of indices. Here index of x is 1 and here index of x is 3, so 3 minus 1 2, so x square, what left, and the highest power is at the denominator, therefore in denominator we get a term, and here in last term there is no x, so d by x cube as it is, okay. Now in the denominator what we have to do, again divide by x cube, then e plus f into 1 by x plus g into 1 by x square plus h by x cube. As the power of the x in numerator start to decrease, then power of the x in denominator start to increase. Just like this one, you can see here, x, then x square, then x cube. Okay. Therefore, here we can write L is equal to limit x tends to infinity. We can take limit of each term separately. Okay. But here we are going to take the limit directly, but before that I want to write the terms again. B by x plus c by x square plus d by x cube upon e plus f by x plus g by x square and plus h by x cube. Now you can see there is no x in the numerator, isn't it? There is no x in the numerator. Everywhere we have x in the denominator. Okay. Therefore, by using the formula, which formula we have learned? As x tends to infinity, 1 by x is equal to 0. So, using this one. Now, if have x power 1 or square or whatever, it tends to 0 only. Therefore, L is equal to limit, there is no need to write limit. Now, we can directly substitute the value of limit a plus b into 1 by infinity, okay, plus c into again 1 by infinity. There is no need to write infinity square, whatever it remains infinity only. Again d into 1 by infinity. Same happens at the denominator, f into 1 by infinity plus g into again 1 by infinity plus h into 1 by infinity. Therefore, L is equal to a plus, and what about 1 by infinity? 0. C into 1 by infinity 0, and plus d into 1 by infinity 0. Okay. And in the denominator again same happen, f into 1 by infinity 0 plus g into 1 by infinity 0 and plus again h 0. So what remain there? A, and all the remaining terms becomes what? So what left there? So our required limit is what? L is equal to a by e. So this is the example which we have solved, which is very easy. First we have to choose the highest power of x, then take it outside as a common factor or divide numerator and denominator both by that highest power of x, that is it may be x square, it may be x cube, in the same example x cube, it may be x raised to 4 also. So arrange the terms in a well manner and take the limit, which is very easy, and I hope that this limit, you may feel that this limit is one of the easiest limit to evaluate. Now let us see one more example from the same category. The third one there, here, limit x tends to infinity 7x square plus 5x minus 3 upon 8x square minus 2x plus 7. Okay. Therefore, let us have the solution, which is the highest power. whenever you see the example, then at the same time the process have to start in your brain. That is, what is the limit there, then what is the criteria or nature of the function, okay, and then what we have to do, which steps we will require to solve the given example, okay, like this one. That is, you should make algorithm about the given example in your mind. So our example is, these are the polynomials only, okay, plus 5x minus 3. And what is the characteristic of limit at infinity? There are no trigonometric functions or logarithmic functions, isn't it? Or exponential functions. We have only a polynomial, that is algebraic functions. So particularly taking account this characteristic of this one, so it becomes again easy. Only x is there. X tends to infinity. So as I have told you, our highest power is x square. Now I want to tell you the same example in another way. That is, if we take x square common, okay, then what remain inside the bracket? What happened about these terms? So divide each term by x square. So if we divide by x square, then x square get cancelled, only 7, plus 1x get cancelled, 5 into 1 by x, minus 3 by x square. Okay, we take x square common. You can divide by x square or you can take x square common. In both the ways, you can follow the method which I have explained in previous example, or you can follow in this way also. Now divide by x square these terms, divide these terms by x square, okay. So 8x square by x square, only 8, minus 2x by x square, 2 by x, and plus 7 by x, because there is no x, so x square remains as it is, and here now we can cancel this x square, x square. So collect the remaining terms. Limit x tends to infinity in bracket, in the numerator 7 plus 5 by x minus 3 by x square, 8 minus 2 by x plus 7 by x, isn't it? Now taking directly the limit of the function, we get L is equal to limit, okay, if you are going to take a limit, then there is no need to write it again. So 7, 5 into 1 by infinity minus 3 into 1 by infinity. There is no need to write infinity square, because infinity square is again infinity, infinity cube is again infinity only. 8 minus 2 into 1 by infinity plus 7 into 1 by infinity. Therefore L is equal to 7 plus, what about this 1 by infinity? 1 by infinity is nothing but 0, 0 upon 8 minus, therefore L is equal to 7 plus 0 upon 8 minus, that is L is equal to 7 by 8. This is our required answer. So this is about the limit by using infinity. Okay. Now let us see the last article from the same chapter, that is infinite limit. So